Before you try to fix your life, before you chase success, love, confidence, or peace, there is one truth most people never face. If you don't respect yourself, if you don't value yourself, if you don't accept yourself, nothing outside of you will ever feel enough. You can achieve more, earn more, and even be admired by others, yet still feel empty inside. Because the relationship you avoid the most is often the one you have with yourself. This audiobook is not about ego. It is not about selfishness. It is about survival, healing, and inner strength. Because when you learn to love yourself first, you stop begging for validation. You stop tolerating disrespect. You stop abandoning yourself to please others. And that single shift changes everything. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to support Audio Vibes by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with someone who may need this reminder today. Now, take a deep breath and let's begin this journey of self-respect, self-worth, and true inner peace. Loving yourself is not about ego, arrogance, or putting yourself above others. It is about recognizing your worth without needing validation. It is about learning to stand with yourself instead of constantly fighting against who you are. And for many people, this is one of the hardest things to do. We grow up learning how to please, how to perform, and how to fit into expectations. Somewhere along the way, we learn how to criticize ourselves more than we encourage ourselves. We speak to ourselves in ways we would never speak to someone we care about. Over time, this inner voice shapes our confidence, our choices, and the way we experience life. When you don't love yourself, even success feels empty. You achieve goals but still feel not enough. You give love but struggle to receive it. You tolerate situations that drain you because deep down you don't believe you deserve better. This is not a personal failure. It is a learned pattern, and anything learned can be unlearned. This audiobook is an invitation to come back to yourself, to rebuild the relationship you have with your own mind, emotions, and identity. Not through motivation alone, but through understanding, awareness, and intentional change. You will explore why self-love feels difficult, how self-judgment is formed, and how to replace it with respect, boundaries, and inner calm. This is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming honest. Honest about your needs, honest about your limits, honest about your worth. As you listen, allow yourself to slow down. There is nothing you need to prove here. This space is for reflection, healing, and growth. Loving yourself first is not selfish, it is foundational. Because when you learn to stand firmly with yourself, everything else in life begins to align. Chapter 1. Understanding what loving yourself really means. Before anyone can truly love themselves, they must first understand what self-love actually is and what it is not. Many people confuse self-love with selfishness, arrogance, or constant self-praise. Others believe it means ignoring flaws or pretending everything is perfect. In reality, self-love is much deeper, quieter, and far more powerful than any of these ideas. Loving yourself means accepting your humanity. It means recognizing that you are allowed to grow, allowed to struggle, and allowed to evolve without hating yourself in the process. It is not about feeling confident all the time. It is about treating yourself with respect even when confidence is missing. Self-love is not a destination. It is a way of relating to yourself every single day. Most people grow up learning how to please others before learning how to understand themselves. Approval becomes a survival strategy. Over time, this creates an internal pattern where self-worth depends on external validation. When praise is present, you feel valuable. When it disappears, self-doubt takes over. This cycle slowly disconnects you from your own needs, emotions, and identity. True self-love begins when you stop measuring your value through comparison. Comparison quietly teaches the mind that worth is conditional, that someone else's success reduces your own value. But self-love is unconditional. It is not affected by someone else's progress, beauty, intelligence, or achievements. When you love yourself, you no longer compete for worth. You simply exist with it. In this chapter, we will explore 3 key parts that help you understand self-love clearly and practically. Part 1. Self-love is respect, not motivation. Many people wait to love themselves until they improve. They say things like, "I'll love myself when I lose weight," or "I'll respect myself once I become successful." This mindset delays self-love indefinitely. Improvement without self-respect becomes punishment rather than growth. Self-love means setting boundaries even when it feels uncomfortable. It means saying no when something drains you. It means choosing rest without guilt and discipline without self-hate. Respect is not loud. It shows up in small daily decisions: how you talk to yourself, how you allow others to treat you, and how you care for your mental and emotional health. When respect is present, motivation becomes sustainable. Without respect, motivation turns into pressure, and pressure eventually leads to burnout. Part 2. How self-talk shapes your identity. The voice you hear most often is your own. Yet many people speak to themselves in ways they would never speak to someone they care about. Harsh inner dialogue slowly becomes identity. Over time, the mind starts to believe whatever it hears repeatedly. Self-love requires awareness of internal language. This doesn't mean forcing positive affirmations that feel fake. It means replacing cruelty with honesty. Instead of saying, "I'm a failure," you say, "I'm learning." Instead of saying, "I'm not enough," you say, "I'm growing." These shifts may seem small, but identity is built through repetition. The way you speak to yourself becomes the way you treat yourself, and eventually the way others treat you as well. Part 3. A story of a woman from Chicago who spent years believing her value depended on being useful to others. She was reliable, supportive, and always available. People praised her kindness, yet inside she felt invisible. Her needs were always last. Her emotions were often ignored, even by herself. One day, after experiencing emotional exhaustion, she realized something important. She had been loving others deeply, but had never learned how to love herself. She began making small changes. She stopped apologizing for needing rest. She said no without explaining herself. She listened to her emotions instead of silencing them. Nothing dramatic happened overnight, but slowly her energy returned. Her confidence stabilized. Her relationships improved. Not because she gave more, but because she finally respected herself. That was the moment her life shifted. Not because others changed, but because she did. Self-love is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming honest. Honest about what you need, what you feel, and what you deserve. When you love yourself first, you stop abandoning yourself to keep others comfortable. For now, remember this: the relationship you have with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship in your life. Chapter 2. Healing the relationship you have with yourself. Loving yourself is impossible if your relationship with yourself is damaged. Many people move through life carrying unresolved emotional weight, old disappointments, unspoken regrets, moments of shame, and experiences where they felt unseen or unworthy. These experiences quietly shape how they treat themselves today. Before self-love can grow, this internal relationship must be healed. Most people are kinder to strangers than they are to themselves. They forgive others easily, but punish themselves endlessly. They encourage friends, but criticize their own efforts. Over time, this creates an inner environment filled with tension instead of support. Healing begins when you realize that the voice inside your head matters more than almost any voice outside. Self-healing does not mean revisiting the past with pain. It means revisiting it with understanding. In this chapter, we will explore 3 key parts that break this concept down clearly and practically. Part 1. Recognizing self-betrayal patterns. One of the most overlooked causes of low self-worth is self-betrayal. This happens every time you ignore your needs, silence your truth, or say yes when you mean no. Over time, these small moments add up. Your mind learns that your feelings are not important, even to yourself. Self-betrayal can look subtle. Staying in situations that drain you, tolerating disrespect, overworking while neglecting rest, pretending everything is fine when it isn't. Each time this happens, trust with yourself weakens, and without self-trust, self-love cannot exist. The first step toward healing is noticing where you abandon yourself, not with guilt, but with honesty. Awareness creates the opportunity to choose differently next time. Part 2. Rewriting the inner dialogue. Your inner dialogue shapes your emotional reality. If your mind constantly speaks in criticism, pressure, or comparison, it becomes difficult to feel safe within yourself. Many people don't realize how harsh their internal voice has become because it has been there for so long. Let me tell you a story. A woman from Manchester worked as a project coordinator in a fast-paced corporate environment. She was competent and reliable, yet nothing she did ever felt enough. Inside her mind, there was a constant voice reminding her of mistakes, delays, and imperfections. Even small errors felt heavy. Over time, anxiety became her default state. One day, after missing a deadline by a few hours, she noticed something important. The way she spoke to herself was harsher than anything her manager had ever said. That realization changed everything. She began consciously changing her inner language. Instead of "I'm failing," she used "I'm learning." Instead of "I'm behind," she said "I'm progressing at my pace." This shift did not make her complacent, it made her calmer. With calm came clarity. With clarity came confidence. Healing began not when life became easier, but when her inner voice became kinder. Part 3. Practicing self-compassion without excuses. Self-compassion is often misunderstood. It is not about lowering standards or avoiding responsibility. It is about supporting yourself while you grow. Just like a good coach pushes with encouragement, not humiliation. Healing requires patience. You will still make mistakes. You will still have moments of doubt. The difference is how you respond internally. Do you punish yourself or guide yourself forward? A simple but powerful habit is reflective compassion. When something goes wrong, ask yourself, what would I say to someone I care about in this situation? Then offer that same response to yourself. This practice rewires emotional patterns over time. Healing the relationship with yourself creates emotional safety. When you feel safe internally, you stop seeking validation externally. You make better decisions. You set healthier boundaries. You stop abandoning yourself to be accepted by others. Self-love does not begin with confidence. It begins with kindness, and kindness begins with how you speak to yourself when no one else is listening. Take a breath. Let this chapter settle. Healing is not a race. It is a return to yourself.
Chapter 3: Rebuilding Self-Worth from the Inside. Self-worth is not something you earn from success, attention, or approval. It is something you build internally through how you treat yourself when no one is watching. Many people confuse self-worth with confidence, but confidence fluctuates. Self-worth is quieter, deeper, and more stable. It is the foundation that determines what you tolerate, what you pursue, and how you recover when life challenges you. If you struggle with self-love, it often means your sense of worth has been shaped by external validation. Compliments make you feel valuable. Criticism makes you feel small. Silence makes you question yourself. This emotional dependency is exhausting, and over time it erodes inner peace. Rebuilding self-worth means taking back control of how you define yourself. Self-worth begins with one simple shift: deciding that your value is not up for debate. In this chapter, we will explore 3 key parts that break this concept down clearly and practically. Part 1: Separating worth from performance. From a young age, many people learn that love is conditional. You are praised when you perform well and ignored when you fail. Over time, the mind learns a dangerous equation: I am worthy only when I succeed. This belief creates constant pressure and fear of failure. When self-worth depends on performance, rest feels like laziness, mistakes feel like identity flaws, and comparison becomes unavoidable. You are never fully present because you are always proving something to others or to yourself. True self-worth exists even when you fail. It exists on difficult days. It exists when progress is slow. Separating worth from performance allows growth to feel safe instead of threatening. You begin to take risks without tying your identity to the outcome. This shift does not reduce ambition, it strengthens it. When failure no longer defines you, learning accelerates.
Part 2: Ending the inner war. Many people live with a harsh inner voice that constantly criticizes, judges, and pressures them. This voice often sounds familiar because it was learned from the past, teachers, parents, society, or painful experiences. Over time, that voice becomes internalized, and you begin to speak to yourself in ways you would never speak to someone you love. Let me tell you a story that illustrates this clearly. A woman from New York worked in a competitive corporate environment. From the outside, she appeared successful: promotions, respect, financial stability. But internally, she was exhausted. Every mistake triggered intense self-criticism. Every comparison made her feel behind. She constantly felt like she wasn't enough, no matter how much she achieved. One evening, after a minor error at work, she noticed something powerful. The way she spoke to herself was harsher than anything her manager had ever said. She realized she was living in a constant internal battle. That moment changed everything. She began practicing self-respect internally, not through affirmations, but through awareness. When the critical voice appeared, she paused and softened it. Over time, her anxiety reduced. Her focus improved. She didn't become complacent, she became calmer and more effective. The inner war ended, and self-worth had space to grow. Ending self-criticism does not mean avoiding accountability. It means correcting behavior without attacking identity. Part 3: Practicing self-respect daily. Self-worth grows through consistent self-respect, not occasional motivation. It shows up in small daily decisions: what you tolerate, how you speak to yourself, and whether your actions align with your values. Self-respect means honoring your energy. It means resting without guilt. It means saying no when something drains you.
It means keeping promises you make to yourself, even small ones. Every time you follow through, your nervous system learns that you are reliable. Trust builds, worth strengthens. You do not need to overhaul your life to build self-worth. You only need to stop abandoning yourself. Each time you choose alignment over approval, you reinforce your value internally. Here's a simple reflective practice you can try. At the end of the day, ask yourself one question. Did I treat myself with respect today? If the answer is no, notice where you compromised. If the answer is yes, acknowledge it. Awareness is enough to begin change. Self-worth is not loud. It does not announce itself. It shows up as calm boundaries, quiet confidence, and emotional stability. When you rebuild it from the inside, love becomes something you give, not something you beg for. For now, remember this. You do not need to prove your worth. You need to protect it.
Chapter 4. Building healthy boundaries without guilt. One of the most misunderstood aspects of self-love is boundaries. Many people believe that loving others means always being available, always agreeing, and always sacrificing their own comfort to keep peace. Over time, this belief creates exhaustion, resentment, and emotional burnout. Loving yourself first requires learning how to protect your energy without feeling guilty for it. Boundaries are not walls, they are guidelines that define how you allow others to treat you. When boundaries are weak, people may inadvertently cross them. When boundaries are clear, relationships become healthier, calmer, and more respectful. Self-love teaches you that saying no does not make you selfish, it makes you honest. In this chapter, we will explore 3 key parts that break this concept down clearly and practically. Part 1. Why lack of boundaries leads to emotional drain. Many people grow up learning that their value comes from being helpful, agreeable, or easy to deal with. Over time, this conditioning makes it difficult to say no. You may agree to plans you don't want, tolerate behavior that hurts you, or stay silent to avoid conflict. Each time this happens, a small piece of self-respect is compromised. Without boundaries, emotions pile up internally. You may smile on the outside while feeling frustrated inside. This emotional suppression often turns into stress, anxiety, or sudden outbursts. The issue is not the people around you, it is the absence of clear limits. Let me tell you a story that explains this deeply. There was a woman living in Manchester who worked in healthcare. She was known as the one who always helped. Extra shifts, emotional support, last-minute favors, she never said no. She praised her kindness, but inside she felt drained and invisible. She started resenting the very people she cared about. One day, she realized something painful but important. No one had forced her to overextend herself. She had done it to feel valued. When she slowly began setting boundaries, declining extra shifts, taking breaks, expressing her limits, something unexpected happened. The people who respected her stayed. The ones who only benefited from her availability faded away. What remained was peace. Boundaries revealed the truth of her relationships. Part 2. Learning to say no without explaining yourself. One of the hardest parts of setting boundaries is letting go of the need to justify yourself. Many people feel the urge to over-explain when they say no, hoping to avoid disappointment or judgment. But constant explanation weakens boundaries and reinforces guilt. A calm, respectful no is enough. You don't need permission to protect your time, energy, or mental health. Self-love means trusting that your needs matter even when others don't fully understand them. The more you practice simple, clear responses, the more confident you become. Boundaries sound like this. I can't commit to that right now. I need time for myself today. That doesn't work for me. No anger, no drama, just clarity. At first, this may feel uncomfortable. That discomfort is not selfishness, it is growth. Your nervous system is adjusting to a new way of relating to the world. Part 3. How boundaries strengthen self-respect and relationships. Healthy boundaries do not push people away, they filter relationships. When you respect yourself, others learn how to treat you. Boundaries create emotional safety, not distance. They allow you to show up authentically rather than out of obligation. Let me share another story. A man from Chicago worked in a fast-paced corporate role. His phone never stopped buzzing. Colleagues contacted him late at night, on weekends, during family time. He believed being constantly available was part of success. Over time, his stress increased and his personal life suffered. Eventually, he decided to set one simple boundary: no work communication after 8 p.m. unless it was urgent. At first, he feared backlash. Instead, something surprising happened. People adjusted. Emergencies became rare. His focus improved. His confidence grew. By protecting his time, he didn't lose respect, he gained it. Boundaries teach the world how to engage with you. They signal self-worth without words. If you struggle with boundaries, start small. Choose one area of your life where you feel drained. Decide on one clear limit. Practice expressing it calmly. Observe how your internal state begins to change. Self-love is not loud. It is consistent. It is choosing yourself even when it feels unfamiliar. It is understanding that peace is more important than approval. For now, remember this. You don't need to earn rest, respect, or space. You deserve them.
Chapter 5. Becoming your own safe place. Loving yourself is not only about confidence or self-respect. At its deepest level, self-love is about safety. It is about becoming a place within yourself where you can rest even when life feels uncertain. Many people search for this safety in relationships, achievements, or external validation. But true emotional safety can only come from within. When you do not feel safe with yourself, you constantly seek reassurance from others. You overthink conversations. You fear abandonment. You tolerate situations that drain you because being alone feels uncomfortable. This is not because you are weak. It is because you were never taught how to become your own emotional home. In this chapter, we focus on building inner safety, the foundation that allows love, confidence, and peace to grow naturally. In this chapter, we will explore 3 key parts that break this concept down clearly and practically. Part 1. Why you look for safety outside yourself. From an early age, most people learn that safety comes from others. Approval from parents, acceptance from peers, validation from authority figures. Over time, this creates a belief that peace depends on external conditions. When those conditions change, anxiety appears. This is why rejection feels personal, why silence feels threatening, why distance feels like danger. The nervous system associates emotional discomfort with risk, even when no real danger exists. Let me tell you a story. There was a woman living in New York, working in a competitive corporate environment. Outwardly, she was successful and independent. Internally, she felt constantly uneasy. Her mood depended heavily on how others treated her. A small shift in tone from a colleague could ruin her entire day. If a friend replied late, her mind filled with assumptions. Over time, she realized something important. Her fear was not about others leaving. It was about not trusting herself to be okay if they did. She had never learned how to sit with her emotions without escaping them. This realization became the turning point. Instead of trying to control relationships, she began learning how to support herself emotionally. And slowly, the anxiety softened.
Part 2. Learning to sit with yourself. Becoming your own safe place begins with presence. Most people avoid silence because silence brings awareness, and awareness brings feelings they've been running from. Self-love is not loud, it is quiet. It shows up when you stop distracting yourself and allow yourself to feel, without judgment, without resistance. Start with small moments. Sit alone without your phone. Notice your breath. Notice tension in your body. Do not try to fix anything. Simply observe. This may feel uncomfortable at first. That discomfort is not danger. It is unfamiliarity. When emotions arise, instead of asking, "How do I get rid of this?" ask, "Can I stay with this?" The ability to stay creates safety. Here is a gentle practice you can use. When you feel overwhelmed, place a hand on your chest and take slow breaths. Speak to yourself internally as you would to someone you love. Calm, reassuring, patient. Over time, your nervous system learns that you are not alone because you are there for yourself. Part 3. Trusting yourself through action. Inner safety is not built only through reflection. It is built through consistency. When your actions align with your values, trust develops naturally. Every time you set a boundary and honor it, you send a message to yourself: I protect myself. Every time you rest when you're tired, you say, I listen to myself. Every time you walk away from what hurts you, you prove, I value myself. Let me share another story. There was a man living in Manchester who spent years putting others first. He avoided conflict, ignored his own needs, and stayed in situations that exhausted him emotionally. He believed that being kind meant sacrificing himself. Eventually, burnout forced him to stop. He began saying no. He began choosing rest. At first, guilt followed every decision, but something unexpected happened. The more he honored himself, the calmer he felt. Anxiety reduced. Confidence increased. He wasn't becoming selfish, he was becoming safe. Self-trust grows when your inner voice and your behavior match. This alignment creates emotional stability. Loving yourself first means becoming the person you can rely on, especially when life feels uncertain. When you know that you will support yourself through discomfort, rejection loses its power. Loneliness softens. Fear becomes manageable. You stop chasing safety because you carry it with you. For now, remember this. When you become your own safe place, the world no longer feels so heavy. Chapter 6. Becoming the person who chooses themselves. Loving yourself first is not a one-time decision. It is a daily choice. A quiet commitment you make again and again, especially on days when it feels uncomfortable, lonely, or unfamiliar. This chapter is about integration, about turning everything you have learned into a way of living rather than a temporary mindset. Many people understand self-love intellectually, but struggle to live it consistently. They know they should respect themselves, set boundaries, and prioritize their well-being. Yet, in moments of pressure, they fall back into old patterns. This is normal. Transformation does not erase the past overnight. It replaces it gradually. Becoming the person who chooses themselves means aligning your actions with your self-worth, even when no one is watching,
even when it would be easier to abandon yourself for approval, comfort, or familiarity. In this chapter, we will explore 3 key parts that help you live self-love as an identity, not just an idea. Part 1. Living in alignment with self-respect. Self-love becomes real when your behavior matches your values. It shows up in how you speak to yourself, how you manage your time, and how you respond to situations that test your boundaries. Alignment means you stop negotiating with yourself about things that harm you. You no longer justify staying in environments that drain your energy. You no longer tolerate patterns that make you feel small. You start choosing what supports your growth, even if it means disappointing others. This does not make you selfish, it makes you honest. Let me share a story that reflects this shift. There was a woman living in New York who worked in a fast-paced corporate environment. She was reliable, hardworking, and always available. Over time, she became the person everyone depended on, but no one checked on. She stayed late, took on extra tasks, and sacrificed rest to prove her value. Eventually, exhaustion caught up with her. She realized that her effort was driven by fear of being seen as replaceable. Loving herself meant redefining success. She began setting limits, saying no without guilt, and prioritizing her health. The world did not collapse. In fact, her respect increased, but more importantly, her peace returned. Alignment restored her confidence because she stopped betraying herself.
Part 2. Choosing yourself in moments of pressure. The true test of self-love happens in moments of stress, rejection, and uncertainty. It is easy to value yourself when things are going well. It is harder when emotions run high. Choosing yourself in these moments means pausing before reacting. It means asking, what response honors me right now? Sometimes that response is silence. Sometimes it is distance. Sometimes it is rest. There will be moments when old habits try to resurface. People-pleasing, self-doubt, overthinking. These are not signs of failure. They are reminders that growth is ongoing. Here is another story that illustrates this clearly. A man living in Manchester had spent years prioritizing relationships over himself. He avoided conflict, ignored his needs, and stayed in situations long after they stopped serving him. When a major relationship ended, he felt lost. His identity had been built around being needed. Instead of rushing to replace the connection, he chose to sit with himself. He learned to enjoy solitude. He rebuilt routines that supported his mental health. Slowly, his confidence returned, not because someone validated him, but because he validated himself. When new relationships eventually entered his life, they were healthier, balanced, respectful, because he no longer abandoned himself to keep others close. Part 3. Making self-love a daily practice. Self-love does not require dramatic changes. It grows through small, consistent actions. How you start your day, how you speak to yourself after mistakes, how you treat your body and mind. Simple practices build powerful identities. You rest when you need to, without guilt. You speak kindly to yourself even when progress feels slow. You choose progress over perfection. You stop waiting to feel worthy and start acting as if you already are. One gentle exercise you can practice is this. At the end of each day, ask yourself one question. Did I treat myself with respect today? If the answer is yes, acknowledge it. If the answer is no, forgive yourself and adjust tomorrow. Self-love grows through awareness, not judgment. Loving yourself first changes everything. It changes how you show up in relationships, how you pursue goals, and how you handle setbacks. When you stop seeking worth externally, life becomes lighter, decisions become clearer, confidence becomes stable. This is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming honest. Honest with your needs, honest with your limits,
honest with your worth. And when you choose yourself consistently, the world responds differently. Not because you demand respect, but because you embody it. As we come to the end of this audiobook, take a moment to pause and reflect. Loving yourself first is not a destination you reach one day. It is a daily relationship you build with your thoughts, your choices, and your inner voice. Some days it will feel natural. Other days it will feel difficult, and that is okay. Self-love does not mean perfection. It means showing up for yourself even when you feel imperfect. It means choosing patience over self-criticism, boundaries over burnout, and honesty over avoidance. Each small act of self-respect reshapes how you experience life. Remember, the way you speak to yourself becomes the way you live your life. When you change that internal dialogue, everything else begins to shift. Your confidence, your relationships, your peace, and your sense of direction. You don't need to rush this process. Growth happens quietly through consistency and compassion. Return to these ideas whenever you need grounding. Let them remind you that you are allowed to prioritize your well-being without guilt. Thank you for spending this time with Audio Vibes. We will see you in the next audiobook from Audio Vibes.